What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Kirby Mass Attack. Last time, we defeated King DDD in his own resort, and this time, we are finally getting into the final full world of this game. So let's go ahead and get started with Stage 1. We need one Kirby to get into this stage, like every other Stage 1 in this game. But welcome to the volcano, and I actually do want to check this question mark. Putting out a fire. If Kirby is on fire, plunge him into a water source. So because this is a volcano land, we have a bunch of fire enemies compared to the ice enemies we had the last time. And here's our first new enemy. This is called a Bobo. In comparison to the Fufu that we fought in DD Resort. This is just the fire version of the Fufu. But unlike the Fufu, you have to run if you get hit by this one instead of try to break them out of ice. And this level is actually pretty generous with how many water sources it has. Just these little puddles are enough. And this is another snooze route. I call this one a fiery snooze route. I don't think it has an official name, but it's unlike the other ones. Instead of shooting seeds or smoke, it shoots fireballs that if you're hit, you have to get into a water source. This one is nice enough to actually be directly above a water source, so if you get hit by it, and you defeat it, you immediately get plunged into a water source, which is pretty nice. Another Bobo that we don't need to really fight, but we're going to, so that we can break through these blocks. Don't hit me. That's really close to hitting me. And yeah, just another water source. And now we have an obstacle of an enemy. This guy is called Magu. And Magu is defeated using these water bubbles. What you need to do is basically anytime you see a Magu, there's a pretty close water bubble, or they're just meant to be obstacles that you need to avoid. But if there is a water bubble, you just need to bump the water bubble into it, and then throw your Kirbys into it. And if you have more Kirbys, this goes faster, but this is probably going to take me 2 or 3 rounds. So I'm going to go ahead and speed that up. Or, never mind, it took me 2 rounds, and that's another Magu, so I'm just gonna skip it so I don't have to deal with it. And here is another new enemy. This is called a Flare. And what it does is it appears and has a fireball spinning around it, and it also spits fire. So, if you are hit by either the fireball that it spits or the fireball that's around it, you will be lit on fire and have to get into a water source. And I actually want to show another use of these water bubbles. If I can hit the water bubble and not jump off, we're just going to hit it into this Bobo, and as you see, the Bobo gets wet and immediately can be defeated, even with 1 Kirby. Basically, any fire-based enemy that gets hit by water gets really weak, and that's unfortunate. We're just gonna run back to this water source and sure, set yourself more on fire, Kirby. Can we fly, please? I need you to get put out before you die, because I believe if you get to the end of that timer for the fire, the Kirby immediately dies. Like, they don't go blue, they just die. And what we need to do is throw the water bubble into here. And I want to hit this fruit box as many times as I can, because we are at the beginning of this world, and I could use a few more Kirbys. And I need to do this before the land actually goes back to lava. So we get our second Kirby, which allows us to do this twice as fast, and we're gonna be lit on fire, I think. Yep. God damn it. This one not as bad, but there's 2 different paths, and we have to do this chapter twice. You can either pull down this brown jerk vine, or you can go past this block to this hidden door. And another thing about this level is if you are lit on fire and go through a door, you are automatically put out. So the game is actually pretty nice in that aspect. And we need to go down here, and I'm going to skip this snooze route because I don't need to fight it. Please do not fall in the lava, Kirby. I would much appreciate you not dying. We just need to break these blocks, and we're literally playing the floor is lava right now with the lava that is rising and falling. We just need to be on high ground whenever the lava comes, and then we can traverse where the lava was once it goes down. But you'd think this area would be a little hot after literal lava was on it, but oh well. And with this, we have our key to the treasure chest, and this is our first medal. And it is the rainbow medal of the stage, so you have to get this medal out of all 5 of them. But we just need to wait for the lava to go down one more time, and we can get up here. And I'm actually going to try to rush this a little bit, because the door is right there. And if we can get inside before the lava goes back up, we don't have to wait for it. And there is a magic circle there that we don't actually need. But when we come in here, we have another new enemy. This is called a cry ball. And what it does is when you hit it, it will shoot water, basically crying. And once you hit it 3 times, it just explodes and gives you a fruit. And it's kind of unfair that my Kirby spawned directly on top of it. But there is our warp gate for this stage. And actually, here is another split path. You can either go up to that cannon, or you can go right through this star block and head over that way. But I think we are just going to go up through the cannon this time. Just because this is the little bit longer route, and I'd rather show the longer route before the shorter route. But we want to kill this cry ball right here to try to make this tree grow as much as possible, because I'm going to avoid this plant, because if you didn't see, there was a new enemy that popped out of these plants. But if we go over here, we can get this water ball, and I'm actually going to, again, shoot it above. Okay, fine. That new enemy, that is called a flap pond. And what it does is it just shoots out bean bonds instead of shooting out stuff like seeds. And it can become a real hassle if 2 or 3 of them are around at a time, because then you just have like a dozen or so bean bonds walking back and forth that you have to deal with. But we want to take this water bubble this direction, and again, we are just going to try to send it over that so we don't have to deal with another flap on. I say as I run directly into it. Thank you, Kirby's. And we have another Magu, so I can actually show how quickly you can actually defeat these guys with more than 1 Kirby. It's not a hard enemy, if I'm being honest. But we just need to shoot ourselves through these metal blocks, and that gets us over here. If you go the other path, you'll actually be shot upwards through this bottom path. So these bottom blocks cannot be broken, because that's how you get up through the other path. But what we want to do here is run to the right, and over here is another flare. And we just need this flare to get over these metal blocks, and we need to defeat it as soon as possible. And you want to defeat it over the metal blocks so that you can actually break the blocks and go down here. And actually, I think we want to break these blocks because there's water under it. Minecraft has lied to me. They told me that if I put blocks over the source water, it would disappear. But actually, yeah, that's just a pocket of water if you got hit by that flare. And once we are down here, I believe a cry ball is here. And we want to hit it when it's next to each of these seedlings. So that should be the first one. And since it only has 3 hits, you have to be pretty specific where you're hitting it. And the only one that actually matters is this far left one. The other 2, I believe, just give you fruit. But for our spot right now, since we only have 4 Kirbys, I could use some fruit. But that's how you get your 5th medal in this stage, is by pulling down that jerk vine. And this jerk vine gives us a banana and 2 apples, and I'm going to make a tentative guess and say this is enemies. It is definitely enemies. So we're just gonna run, and I believe this is the end of the stage. Yep. End of the stage. No Kirbys were lost, but we did have one die because it spawned on top of a cry eye. Or a cry ball. And now we just need to go back to where that first brown jerk bite is. So I will meet you when we get to there. Alright, we are back at the brown jerk bite, and I just wanted to defeat that Bobo. So it wouldn't shoot fire at us as we're grabbing onto this jerk vine. But all we need to do is pull down this jerk vine, and it'll lead us down the second path. And actually, if we go over here, we can explode this wall to another water place. And this is actually the section I was talking about, where I was saying that the Magus act more like obstacles rather than act more as obstacles rather than enemies, because those two don't actually have a way to defeat them because we don't have a water bubble there or any way to get water to them. But once we get here, we have another cog, and this cog will make it rain. Quite literally, actually. And actually, this counts as a water source, which is why I didn't run back. And we can one, set ourselves not on fire, and 2, get us a skeleton key, which is how we are getting the second medal of this stage. Or in our case, the 4th medal of this stage. And we are doing the patented strategy of throw Kirbys upwards and hope. And we are actually just going to take out that last Scully, or let it fly away, I guess. And give us our medal. And that is our 4th medal of the stage, so we just have 1 left to go. And thankfully, this puts us on the platform and not directly into lava. Although I guess even if it did, we are going through a door, so it doesn't super matter. And that path actually leads us directly to where the other path dropped us off at, after we got through the rising and falling lava room. That is the same magic circle, and actually this is the same cryball fight, which if we can hit them 3 times in a row, immediately stake it out, and we just get some extra fruit for our troubles. And not quite another Kirby. I'm hoping to have at least 7 Kirbys by the end of this, which, since it's only 4 away, we should. And this is a very fiery snooze route, and all we have to do is put Kirbys onto this big cog, and eventually, once we turn this enough, if the snooze route does not wake up, we can douse it with water, and you can see that even the snooze route, when it's doused with water, is extremely easy to defeat. Like, it took 3 Kirbys to take it out. Unfortunately, we don't get any fruit for that, but now we have another new enemy. Technically, this is an enemy we have seen the smaller version of, but this is a big Blocko. And what you need to do is throw Kirbys at the brown sections, and once you hit it enough, it will break apart and give us our 7th Kirby, actually. And we just want to stand right here so that we can fly up here and take out this Bobo. And we will just continue running this way. I don't think I need to fight you. And this big Blocko has our star medal in it, which, if you can defeat it in that first cycle, it's very good. What I recommend, if you can't throw that quickly, or if you don't have as many Kirbys because you took this path first, is to lead it all the way across, stand on the platform because it can't roll over platforms or over ledges, and then let it start rolling backwards like the first Blocko we fought, and then you can throw at it without any danger at all. But this leads us directly back to where this flare was. So I think I'm just going to meet you back on the stage select screen. So I will see you there. All right, and that is the first stage completely cleared. So let's go to stage 2. And I recommend very highly, I know it says you only need 3 Kirbys in here. I recommend having at least 5 before going into this stage. And you will see why in a second. But like I said, you only need 3 to go in here. And this is one of my favorite stages in the entire game. And it actually is another big reason why I like this game, as well as why I was a big fan of Kirby's Epic Yarn. But this, if I just shoot right here, is our first example of a vehicle stage. Well, not technically our first. I guess the Warp Star Surfing was our first. But this is a literal tank that we're shooting. Aiming a shot. Touch the screen to aim and lift the stylus to fire. So basically, if you hold down, you will aim, and once you let go, it fires the Kirby. And the reason I said I recommend having as many Kirbys as possible is because you are literally using the Kirbys as ammunition in this stage. So it's better to have more Kirbys than less. And that enemy that we just saw was actually called a missile roller. It's basically just a missile that rolls on the ground, and if it hits you, it causes you damage. And that was our first medal that we hit. And we actually need to hit that bomb so we can drop down here. And now we have Sorors. It's just a really fun level to be able to shoot Kirbys. And the more Kirbys you have, the more damage you can do. That enemy right there was called a catapulter. Or no, it's just called Polt. And what it does is it throws rocks at you. And if you let it shoot rocks, you can still defend against it by shooting the rocks out of midair. But it's also not like a difficult enemy to defeat. And the rocks fly so slowly that you shouldn't have much problems. But this is another level that we have to do twice because there are 2 splitting paths. Not yet, but I believe on this part, you could choose to either go up or down. And I think what we want to do is choose to go up first. So basically, if you hit that star, you take the down path, but if you don't, you take this up path. Hello, Blocko. We don't want to deal with you right now. And if we hit that, that gives us a recharge of health, which looks a lot like Mega Man health, if I'm being honest. Take out all 3 of those Blackos, take out that Sorar. And now we have Big Sorars, which takes a lot of Kirbys to defeat. I think it's 5 Kirbys. And we just need to take that one out, more health. And as you can see, you can actually have your Kirbys catch items as they're falling, which is pretty good, actually. And just straight up fire into the stratosphere. I recommend right here, aim upwards and start firing right now. Because there is a stone block there that you can't see till you're almost at the top of the mountain. And if you don't start firing early, you literally cannot break that stone block. And actually, this is another split path, and I think we want to go down here for this first time. Because heading down here will send us to another new screen. And here, I forget if it's this one. Oh, it's going to make us get out, because the tank cannot roll up ledges, kind of like the big blockos that we were talking about last stage. But what we need to do is we need to hit the bomb one, and that will give us access to the warp door of this level, which is just in between these 2 sections, between cannon and cannon. But now that we're in another cannon, and we have 10 Kirbys, I just noticed, that's very nice. we just need to take this elevator up, and I believe this takes us to the boss of this stage. Oh, no, it doesn't. We have more new enemies. These are called bomb pellers. And what they do is they will fly back and forth and try to get close to you, and if they hit you, they explode. So you want to just keep firing at them to keep them away as much as possible. And here is our rainbow medal. All you had to do is hit the 4 spots, and this will explode, giving us our rainbow medal, which I believe is number 4. Yes, that is number 4. And number 5 is a little bit hard to get, if I remember correctly. Because this downward section is actually pretty fast, if I remember. What you need to do is you need to always have aim, to always be pressing down, and just kind of keep firing. And if you hit that bomb, you get your last medal. And like I said, it's a little hard to do because you have to shoot it while jumping. But if you're able to do it, it's all you have to do is hit the 1 spot, and if you know it's coming, it's not the most difficult thing to do. But here is the mini boss of this stage. This is called the quad gun. And what you need to do is it will send out either a cannon, a skull, buttons, or the buttons of its eye color. And what you need to do is hit the eye color buttons to destroy the eyes. I believe you had to hit 2 of each eye color in order to destroy each eye. But since you can literally have your cursor right on top of it, it's not difficult to lead the shots in order to hit the buttons. You do have to take into account the little bit of flying time that the Kirbys have in order to hit the buttons and to lead the shots. But with 10 Kirbys, it's not really that difficult. The biggest one is the red eye, which once you get down to the last eye, it'll actually disappear and come back with only 3 sections instead of a conveyor belt. And what you need to do is shoot the button 3 times and it explodes. And luckily, that's the same principle as the skull button, because I definitely hit a skull button at least twice. Basically, if you push down a skull button all the way, the quad gun will put all cannons on either their conveyor belt on all 3 spots. Also, no damage, because this level is very hard to be damaged on. But with that being said, I was about to say I will meet you at the split path, but actually, I will meet you at the Rainbow Bridge. Because this level is apparently the one that gives us our first Rainbow Bridge of this world. And that gives us, or that gets us into the inner ring, which has 4 more levels that we can't do right now. But we need to go directly back into stage 2 so I can show you the path, or the splitting path. So I will be right back when we get there. Alright, back at the split. What we need to do is we just need to shoot enough Kirbys to push down this star switch. And we took a little bit of damage because I didn't do it fast enough. But once you take down that star switch, you can see a big floof here. And all you need to do is fire as many Kirbys as you can at this thing. You want to make sure that you have enough Kirbys to take out any enemies that are on the ground, and not get hit like that. But basically, all you need to do is make sure that you can take out the big floof before that happens, because once that happens, you're not able to get the medal. So I'm gonna have to do this stage again, but I will meet you back at, I guess this is technically a different part of the stage. So we will just continue going through this way. I am at 1 health, I just realized. I have been beaten up a little bit. Take out that one. And we can still drop down here. And this will lead us directly to the point where we switch bombs or tanks. So I think at this point I'm just gonna meet you at the stage select screen. All right, now back on the stage select screen. On to stage 3, which only has 3 medals, thankfully. And this one also only requires 1 Kirby because each of these worlds give you at least 2 levels that you only need 1 Kirby for. And on this level, I believe the warp gate is like right here somewhere. It's like super early into this level because this level is kind of just an elevator. Once we get on here, a couple of walls just appear, and I guess it's not an elevator. It's a it's a survive the onslaught. And what you need to do is just throw Kirby's at the falling rocks. And you need to stop them from hitting the platform you're standing on, because if enough of them hit, they will break the platform, and all of your Kirby's will fall to their death in spikes. So, you know, not a great time. And the question mark blocks usually have something nice in them. So you want to make sure you at least break every single question mark block. And the way to know where they're falling is by looking at the actual mountain in the background, because you can see them fly out of the mountain in a semi-direction of where they're going to go, and it gives you at least an idea of where you need to be set up. And that is... oh, there's 3 here. Luckily, all these small ones only take 1 Kirby to hit, which is why they make it so that this is a 1 Kirby stage. And that one with the explosion symbol on it basically just blows up the entire screen and makes it so all of the meteors, or I guess molten rocks falling from the sky, do not explode. And we are actually just going to continue running, because now it's just raining rocks at us. And there's no actual reason to stay behind. You do actually want to try to control the rocks here and make them fall. Gee, thanks. Save the small Kirby's. Save the small Kirby's. Thank you. And what you need is you just need to grab these, this big Kirby fruit, and run this direction, which I believe over here. The big Kirby fruit actually doesn't give you anything, but it does make it easier to traverse and get over here without being crushed by a bunch of meteorites. And I believe right here... actually, no, I thought that was the warp door. That's a golden door that we are going to go into. Because in this golden door is our rainbow medal. And basically, I want to just stand over here, and I'm just going to let rocks fall on that side until it breaks all the way down through the metal blocks that I need it to. And if I stay over here, all I need to do is throw my Kirby's upwards in order to protect against the falling stones. And this had started to go bad. I do need a rock to hit this one. Any takers? And any takers? We're gonna see if that one hits it. It does, but it also hits my Kirby. I'm totally getting a bronze star on this stage. We just need to go over this direction and leave. That was a disaster. But we did get our medal, so I'll take it. And also, there is a fruit box, but I have 10 Kirby still, so there's no need to get it. And this actually is our warp door, in case you missed the rainbow medal. But now we have an actual elevator. And I believe just more falling rocks. And we actually have bigger falling rocks, which I believe take 3 hits to break. And it's important to keep that in mind. This one, you don't need to break all of them, because the floor doesn't just shatter when they're hit. But I like breaking them just to give us some more room to maneuver. I missed. Kirby's. I think that one was important, but oh well. It might just be another stage I have to play again. This one? No, this one? Okay, one of these has something important in it. I'm forgetting which one, though. We do have a bomb, so we'll hit the bomb there. And get another 10,000 bonus points. And... is it this one? No, it killed my Kirby again. And... again, nothing in that one. I know there's something in one of these. I know it. There's an important rock somewhere. We're just gonna hit this bomb. There's an important rock. And that is medal number 2. And actually, is there anything to the left here? There is a wall to the left there. And a magic circle that I very desperately need. Actually, everything I've been hit by has been an instant kill. So I don't know how much of a help this magic circle is, but we'll take it anyway. And I believe there should be... what you doing? What we need to do is throw Kirby's like there's no tomorrow, and we need to hit the sections that are not metal in order to break this apart and get our final medal of the stage. That's the one I was thinking about. I just forgot it was not on the actual elevator portion. It was on the portion afterwards. But that is the end of stage 3. Literally no enemies in that stage at all. Just obstacles in the form of meteorites. But that is the first 3 stages of Volcano Valley cleared. So I think we are going to call this an episode. So I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we are, if I can find the correct stage, not going to have a fun time with these puffs of clouds. But until then, happy adventuring.